We have an image-based question, that is, in the given diagram, which structure acts as endotoxin? If we focus on the picture, we can appreciate that some parts are labeled such as cell membrane, outer membrane, lipoprotein and porin channels. But we also have some unlabeled parts such as A, B, C and D. The question is, which of these unlabeled structures act as endotoxin? So first, let's discuss about endotoxins. Endotoxins are nothing but the bacterial toxins which are lipopolysaccharides in nature. Lipopolysaccharides in nature. And endotoxins are produced only by gram-negative bacteria. This is the most important point. It is because the lipopolysaccharides forms an integral component of the cell wall which is specific only for gram-negative bacteria. Therefore, the endotoxins can be released only on lysis of bacteria or on disruption of the cell membrane. And these endotoxins are heat-stable toxins, but they are weakly antigenic in nature. So, these are some of the important points regarding endotoxins. We have another type of toxins known as exotoxins. So, exotoxins are normally proteins. They are polypeptides in nature and they are produced mainly by gram-positive bacteria and also by some gram-negative bacteria, but predominantly by gram-positive bacteria. And these exotoxins does not require bacterial lysis because it is not a part of cell wall and therefore they can be released readily or actively into the medium. And the exotoxins are heat labile toxins, but they are highly antigenic in nature. So, these are the two types of bacterial toxins and our question is regarding the endotoxins. So, endotoxins are produced only by gram-negative bacteria, specifically the lipopolysaccharides of the gram-negative bacterial cell wall. Therefore, we can make out that the given picture is nothing but the cell wall of gram-negative bacteria because we have the terms cell membrane, outer membrane, etc. Therefore, it clearly indicates the cell wall of gram-negative bacteria. But in order to rule out the unlabeled parts, we should be thorough about the different layers of the gram-negative cell wall. So, now here is a picture which clearly demonstrates the layers of gram-positive as well as gram-negative cell wall. So, it is easy to compare gram-positive from gram-negative. So, beginning with gram-positive, surrounding the cytoplasm, we have the plasma membrane and next to plasma membrane, we have the peptidoglycan cell wall. So, peptidoglycan layers, okay, there are multiple layers of peptidoglycan. Therefore, it simply indicates that the gram-positive bacteria consist of thick peptidoglycan layer. And apart from that, we have teichoic acid. So, teichoic acid is specific only for gram-positive bacteria. It is not present in gram-negative bacteria. So, teichoic acids, it runs from the plasma membrane, it runs through the peptidoglycan layer. There are two different types of teichoic acid, namely wall teichoic acid which binds with the peptidoglycan layer of cell wall and membrane teichoic acid which binds with the plasma membrane. Therefore, the cell wall structure of gram-positive bacteria is very simple. We have peptidoglycan layer with teichoic acid in it. And now getting on with the structure of gram-negative bacteria, the structure is very complex. So, now let's focus from the inner to outer layer. So, cytoplasm is surrounded by the plasma membrane which is known as inner membrane for gram-negative bacteria because we have something called as outer membrane. So, first layer is the inner membrane and next to inner membrane we have periplasmic space. Periplasmic space. And next to periplasmic space comes the peptidoglycan cell wall. So, here we can appreciate the thin layer or a single layer of peptidoglycan layer. Therefore, peptidoglycan is present in both gram-positive and gram-negative, but it is thin in gram-negative but thick in gram-positive cell wall. And next to peptidoglycan comes the outer membrane, but between the peptidoglycan outer membrane we can find lipoproteins. So, here we can appreciate the lipoproteins which links the peptidoglycan to the outer membrane. So, we have some lipoproteins which connects the peptidoglycans to the outer membrane. So these structures such as the outer membrane or lipoproteins, they are specific only for gram-negative bacteria. And outer to outer membrane, we can appreciate one important component, that is the lipopolysaccharide. We can find some extensions outer to the outer membrane, and they are nothing but the lipopolysaccharides. So now the most important component that forms the outermost layer of the gram-negative cell wall is the lipopolysaccharide. Lipopolysaccharides, as the name indicates, it consists of lipid and polysaccharide units. It consists of lipid A. So lipid A is responsible for the toxicity, and we have O polysaccharide, O antigen polysaccharide. So these two are the two important components, lipid A and O polysaccharide, but we have one another component known as core polysaccharide. So core polysaccharide, it links lipid A to the O polysaccharide. Therefore, lipopolysaccharide units are composed of three components, lipid A with core polysaccharide in the center and O polysaccharide on the other end. So now we are familiar about the different layers of gram-negative cell wall. It is very, very important to remember it in the same sequence. And now getting back to the question, so we can appreciate the cell membrane, which is nothing but the inner membrane. They have given the outer membrane with lipoproteins. So lipoproteins connects the peptidoglycan to the outer membrane. Therefore, B stands for the peptidoglycan. B stands for peptidoglycan layer, and outer to the outer membrane comes the lipopolysaccharide. So now let's clarify them with the original picture. So here is the exact picture. So here we can appreciate the cell membrane, that is the inner membrane of the cell wall, and here we can see these are the phospholipids of the cell membrane, and next to it comes the periplasmic space and comes the peptidoglycan layer. So this is the peptidoglycan layer, and then comes the lipoproteins which connects the peptidoglycan to the outer membrane. So outer to outer membrane, we can appreciate the lipopolysaccharide. So this structure is the lipopolysaccharide. So they have elaborated the picture showing the structure of lipopolysaccharide. So here we can appreciate the lipopolysaccharide. So this is the lipid A as demonstrated in the picture, and then we have the core polysaccharide which connects the lipid A to the oligosaccharide, that is O polysaccharide. Okay, so this is the O polysaccharide, and the center portion is the core polysaccharide, whereas this is the lipid A. Okay, this structure is what demonstrated here. Okay, we have lipid A and O polysaccharide with center core polysaccharide. And now getting back to the question, so we ruled out B to be peptidoglycan, and C is nothing but the phospholipid present in the cell membrane, and D is nothing but the lipopolysaccharide. Okay, so that is what is demonstrated here. And A, the structure A stands for the proteins present in the outer membrane. So here we can appreciate protein and porin channels on the outer membrane. So therefore, the four given options, A stands for the protein, and B stands for the peptidoglycan layer, and C stands for the phospholipids present in the cell membrane, that is the inner membrane, and D stands for the lipopolysaccharides. And out of the four parts or four structures, lipopolysaccharide acts as an endotoxin. So it has the endotoxic activity of the gram-negative bacteria. Therefore, the right answer here is option D, lipopolysaccharides.